What's up, NBA fans? Dom2K on the mic. Somebody told me I had to bring it back for 300k. I had to bring back the classic. I don't even know why I stopped, to be honest. It just kind of gradually went away over the years. And did you know that I kind of subconsciously picked that intro up from one of my favorite YouTubers throughout the 2010s? I bring that up because right as I hit 300k, or like the day before I hit 300k, that YouTuber followed me on Instagram, and it was almost 7 years to the day that me and my brother found him. We found him when I was starting my senior year of high school, so 2012, August, July. And I hopped on Instagram for a sec the other day and I seen that he followed me, and I was just like, it was just a cool moment. I told you I'm a regular ass guy, right? I respond to people and they get all giddy and whatever, but I even got excited when I got this follow because, I don't know, it was just cool to go from a fan back in like 2012 and to be supporting this long and to get big enough that I've actually caught the attention of people like that. So today is the TheDomCast episode 25. I am 100% sure because I checked. I'm responsible these days. And I got a lot of different topics today. I literally just hit 300k yesterday as I'm recording this, so I hit it on Wednesday. This is going to be released on I hit it on Thursday. This is going to be released on Saturday. So I've been wanting to include, like, you know, some general talk about YouTube on the pod for a while, and this is the perfect time to do so. Instead of disrupting my channel, instead of posting like a 300k special on the channel, because I'm doing some really, you know, good stuff over there right now, I figured I'm just going to dedicate a lot of the time to it over here. I can make a longer video here anyways because it's podcast form. Over there, I'm gonna have to fit a lot into like 15 or 20 minutes if I were to do some kind of special Q&A or whatever. I could just do it right here. And then towards the end, I will address a couple of NBA topics because we did receive some news. I made a list a couple of days ago that I would like to address as well, so I'm going to do that towards the end. The time markers are there if you're just here for basketball stuff, but there's a lot more interesting stuff than summer hoops right now. So yeah, 300k is awesome. 300k, I literally started 3 years ago. So I started in the year 2016, and I started actually in July of 2016. That's when I posted my first video on the Dom2K channel. So almost exactly 3 years to that day, I am now at 300,000. Of course, I am going to do everything I can to try to speed that up, because if the goal is 1 million one day, then I'm like 7 years away right now. But that's not how it works anyways. If your channel is destined to be alive by the time it gets to 1 million, or if it's destined to get to 1 million anyways, it likely speeds up the bigger you get. So 400k, 500k, you pull more viewers, algorithm treats you better, you kind of get there a little bit faster as you grow. So I'm not really worried about that. I never try to bask in these too much because I feel like you can get relaxed or complacent, so I try to be very grateful for it when it happens, then I kind of move on with it. Try to get to the next 100k, try to, you know, come up with new ideas for videos, things of that nature, because every 100k is special, but you can also get stuck there. I've seen it happen. I've seen channels that are stagnant, channels that just don't grow. And so I am thankful 3 years later to still be growing. That's the one thing that's always happened on my channel, is no matter how small the growth is, it's always growing. It's never going backwards. It's never just stuck in the same place. Even if it's the smallest growth throughout the day, it's still growing, it's still gaining, and that's very important. And yeah, I'm just super thankful for that, because I do realize by now it could have easily stopped growing. It could have died. Especially as I was wrapping up college. I look back now and I think about all the things I used to have to do to manage this with college life, everything that comes with that. And I remember finding empty classrooms at like 9, 10, 11 o'clock, finding places to record, because obviously you can't record in your dorm room, you have roommates. There's just literally nowhere to record there. I wouldn't have even been comfortable recording around like 3 or 4 people anyways. But yeah, I think back to those days and I'm like, wow, I was really focused. I had a laser vision back like before I had 100k, and I knew that I had to do schoolwork and I had to do everything else, but I saw this growing and this was just as important to me because I knew what it could do. So no matter what else I had done throughout that day in college, it didn't matter what else, didn't matter how late it was. If I had to go in and I had to sit down and record a video and edit it all in that one night, that's just what I was gonna do. And I loved it so much that I wasn't tired from it. I wasn't tired, I wasn't stressed out about it. It was literally just kind of like a matter of fact thing. And that's because of the energy that was generated when this all first happened, right? This is back around 2016 that I'm talking about. So I had already, does anybody really even know, I had already been doing YouTube since 2014 by then. That was back when I was doing the Three Kings of New York stuff, when I was doing those horrible 2K gameplays with my video game mic, the PlayStation mic. That's why the audio sounds so terrible on those. But yeah, I had already been doing it since 2014. So when 2016 summer came around and I did that LeBron video and the channel started to gain traction, there was just like I can't even describe the energy I had to wake up every day and do videos. That's an energy that honestly I don't know if it's ever going to come back, just because humans can adapt to anything. Just because once you have a feeling for so long, no matter what, it'll never be like the first time, I don't think. And yeah, when that first happened, all the way from, let's say, probably July to around October, November, it was just such a special thing that I had this unlimited amount of energy just stored away specifically to do videos. So again, no matter what I had done throughout the day, I had energy to write a script, had energy to record and edit and do whatever I needed to do simultaneously with anything else as many times as I needed to. That was of course before everything else happened, like the copyright, before the money came along and people saw that money came along, and that brings its own set of problems. So after a year of dealing with certain things like that, you get to 2017, which is my senior year in college. You started my senior year, and now there's even more issues, right? Because I'm trying to enjoy what's left of college as much as I can. So now I'm juggling a lot of different things with YouTube, and I think that is a particular point where I could have definitely stopped growing, because I was still making videos, but I was fucking exhausted. That excitement wasn't there anymore. I was really tired of dealing with my network. I hadn't actually made it as far as I hoped by that point, because I was juggling it with school. So I didn't do as much as I really had planned, and I didn't do as much as I thought I could have when I was in that first growth phase. Because that first growth phase, when everyone is just finding you, that can take you really far. That damn near carried Mike Warzimba to 1,000,000. And so by that point, I pretty much had an attitude that I was forced to juggle school with it, because, well, that's another story for a different day. Either way, here we are wrapping up 2019. I sit on one 300K channel, another channel with 100K, which is my second channel. Love that channel. I always love doing work for that because all of it's mine. And then a third channel. We will discuss that today. I already have it. It's not anything new, but it's my Let's Play channel. So I discuss a little bit of how that happened. But before that, we will discuss my network. Have a real in-depth discussion about it, because there really has been no update since I made a video about it last November. Yeah, life just kind of moved on and went back to normal after I made that video. I made an update video once, but honestly, it was very, very poorly timed. And again, when I'm posting something on the main channel, I can never really go as in-depth as I can go on a podcast, so that's why I chose to put a lot of the topics I have today here. I'm never scared to discuss the problems that go on between me and my network, or the issues or the things that I've tried to resolve, because I figured that if they ever did retaliate in some big major way, I'm one of their biggest channels. So if they really chose to go after me, I have a whole nother channel. It would not be good business for them to go after one of their biggest channels and do something overtly negative, because I would then tell everything. All of their potential clients would know absolutely everything, and they would also know that one of their biggest channels, who was constantly trying to find resolutions, had action taken against it, so that just would not be a good look. Therefore, with things that I've discussed with them, things that I've tried to find solutions for and haven't found solutions for, I don't feel bad about talking about them, because I did my part. I reached out. I tried to find out how to work within the confines, and nothing has worked by this point. So this will be a good little behind the scenes look for y'all into, you know, what goes on with channels and networks and all that stuff behind the scenes, just in case you're trying to get into it, just so you can have some kind of guidance, because I don't think people really talk about the other sides of YouTube. So yeah, I'm at Disney yesterday. It wasn't to celebrate or anything. It just happened to fall on the day that I hit 300K. My brother, he works over there. He had invited me, so I go over there. I'm having a good time. I'm just relaxing, enjoying some time away from the computer, and then I get an email that says my last video that I had posted not even 24 hours ago, the top 10, ranking the playoff series, that video had been claimed, just like the last 3 2010s NBA videos that I'd posted. And I found that extremely weird. I found it weird because this streak of videos, these 4 videos, are probably my best performing videos since the draft retrospective videos. These are my best videos since then. They're my most successful videos since then, and they're the only ones that have been claimed, almost the only ones that have been claimed since May. These big 300k videos, nearly pushing 400k, now I have copyright problems for some reason. So check this out, right? I'm assuming a lot of you here already know the situation from last November, but if you didn't, I would recap it. That was basically at a time where I felt like I had tried everything I could in talking to my network and trying to figure out how exactly they go about their copyright things. Because basically how it works is this is supposed to be the network for NBA YouTubers, people who use NBA footage and all of that. So again, very brief recap because I don't want to do that whole video again. What ends up happening is they provide you a library of footage. That library of footage is essentially what you see in Chris Smooth videos. So it's like recap footage from a game that happened last night. So if the Lakers and Pelicans played last night, that's really the footage you get. There is very little footage from the past. Sometimes they have like contests to see who can make the best Tracy McGrady mix, and then they'll provide like Tracy McGrady highlights from back in the day. But there is not just this gigantic library of nice footage for you to pull from, which is kind of how it was described to me when I was first approached by this network in 2016. It was sold as this nice big library where you won't get copyrighted and there's a certain amount of money that is shared between you and the network and all that good stuff, right? But then you figure out that it's literally just footage from the season, and it's recap footage at that, so it's not even good footage. It has all these cross dissolves in it. It's just the stuff that you see on NBA TV, the footage that you see on Chris Smooth's channel, which is why he does daily recaps. He's really good at it. That's awesome. That's his thing. So that's the first part I don't understand, because if you have, let's say they have 40 channels signed, right? And 40 channels are all using that library. What type of videos are we supposed to make if we're trying to avoid copyright? Because if we're all using library footage, we're literally just using recap footage. So you want to have 40 NBA YouTube recap channels? Is that what you want? Channels that are all gonna recap what happened last night? Everybody makes the same video? So okay, if you want a way around that, what they say is email us and tell us what video you're trying to make. So if I'm trying to make a video about the 2009 Celtics and the 2009 Bulls playoff series, email us and we'll provide you with footage. So you go that route and figure out that they need everything short of your social security number. They need to know what the video is about, like how long the video is. They need to know all this stuff before they send you whatever footage they're gonna send you. Then once they send you that footage, after you spend countless hours making your video, however long it's gonna take, then you have to send it to them back for approval. So if they don't even approve it, or if they don't approve the topic, right, because the topic may be quote too controversial, it may not even work out. So this process can take days, because there's another YouTuber that went through this process and it took him a long time. That process can take days, and I'm trying to nurture a channel, right? I'm trying to nurture growth, I'm trying to please fans, and I'm trying to please myself making videos on a decent schedule. Meanwhile, there's a million other channels out here doing whatever they want, making videos every 2-3 days with whatever footage they want. So the problem then becomes, if I've waited 3 or 4 days for you to just send me footage, everyone else has already had a ton of videos out. It could take me over a week to make one video once I go through that whole process, and that's if it even gets approved. So that's not a viable option. That is not a viable option to keep a channel alive and to grow. That is not viable. Unless you plan on making like 1 or 2 videos every month, 1 or 2 gigantic productions. And again, that's assuming that they're going to approve it, because one YouTuber I know tried to get a topic approved and it was called too controversial. Super teams somehow are a controversial topic. Well damn, there goes like a ton of my videos, right? So then that brings you to the final problem. The final problem being that you are signed to the network for NBA YouTubers. The part that they have never explained, as I sit here in August of 2019, they've never explained how they will go after my videos or other people's videos within my network, and they will do it manually, right? It will say manually claimed, and you can tell who it is claiming them. So somebody sat there and clicked and manually claimed the video, but they don't do that to other YouTubers who are not even signed with their network. And so that was always the biggest problem for me. I've talked to these other creators, and they're bigger than I am, and they use whatever they want from wherever they want, and I'm like, hey, did you get claimed for that? They're like, nah. I'm like, oh, who are you signed to? Not your network. Oh, okay. How does that work? Not so much, I'm not, trying to bring anybody down or anybody's success down. It's not so much that they're not getting claimed, it's the fact that I am and I'm signed to the network. And so I've asked again and again how that works. And my latest conversation with them was hilarious. So it took place during the summer. I was able to get my management company involved, the people who bring me sponsors and stuff like that. They're really nice people, and they said that they would check it out for me because they have contacts there or something like that for broadband. And so they checked it out for me, and they showed me that the email, what they were emailed back, right? And they were basically emailed the same standard answer that I had got, no matter the same robotic answer that I got. Same robotic answer is that a video is likely going to be claimed if it's over 10 minutes and if it's not footage that's used from the library, which again, that's something that I've been told again and again, no matter what type of logic that I try to bring into the conversation, no matter what else I say, it's like I'm talking to an artificial intelligence that can only give one response. And so I even believe in that email, they said something along the lines of there's no known channels that get away with this, that don't use library footage and that get claimed, or make videos longer than 10 minutes that don't get claimed. So I was glad that my management company got into that because they told them the same thing. So I said, okay, I took parts of that email that they sent to my management company and I said, here, here, and here. I've gotten this response before. Now that I got them there, I think they're going to have an open dialogue with me. And I say, based on what you said here, how you're handling it doesn't make sense because I have examples here where this doesn't line up. What you just said is not what's actually being done. I give specific examples and I email back. It takes like 2 or 3 weeks for us to hear back. And when we finally hear back, they essentially say, oh, we can't control who the NBA goes after, use library footage. We can't control who the NBA goes after. That part got me because again, it's not like I can't see who's claiming my videos. So when I look at it, it says manually claimed by, and I can see who claims it. It is my MCN. It's not the NBA just going after people. That is my network claiming my videos. So yeah, that again, another evasive response. Nothing has been resolved, but check this out, right? This is where things really get me because after I made that video back in November, they did not claim a video at all until the month of May. So from November when I made that video and basically put everything out there and put the facts out there that I had tried to resolve things, I did my best to communicate with them and I showed all the places that they could be better and what they were doing wrong, they did improve, right? I did the same thing everybody else does in terms of like how I'm editing my videos or something similar, and I was treated fairly from November until May. Then I got 2 or 3 claims on at the very end of the month, right before it's time for that month to wrap up, and I guess that's when you find out how much money you're gonna make for that month. They just randomly claimed 3 videos. So I don't know, I'm thinking, okay, maybe they have a new guy in the claims department because last time this happened, or when I was being claimed all of a sudden, that's what my I guess you would call him channel manager, that's what he told me, is that they had a new guy handling the claims. So this is happening in May, but then I don't get touched again. So those were the only 3 videos that I had claimed this entire year. So far so good, right? We get to just recently, just 2 weeks ago when I started the ranking series for the 2010s. Those videos are my most successful videos. My most successful videos in a while. They're ones that I can make pretty quickly and they're highly successful. And all of a sudden they show back up claiming my stuff. All of a sudden. Nothing's changed. All of a sudden, they come back with the claims. And so I made some changes. I was like, you know what? Maybe they don't like how I edited my videos this time. Maybe they don't like how I edited those 3. So I went and I did some stuff with graphics for the last video that I posted. Tried to add something to it so it wasn't just straight footage. And they claimed that one too. It looks like they've waited until I've used a lot of their footage and got really successful to start claiming stuff, so all the money goes to them. That's what it looks like. Cause I don't have another explanation for why I haven't been touched basically this whole year until then. Why all of a sudden, as my views are hopping up close to like 200k, 300k, why all of a sudden would you feel the need to come back and start claiming things? That is suspicious. It's slightly suspicious, it's slightly suspect, it is slightly shady. And so check this out, right? By the copyright laws, I'm pretty sure they do have the right to do this. That's why I never challenge them, because they have the right to do it. It is their footage, I don't own it. So they have the right. But my issue with that is, again, these are people assigned to your network that you do this to, and so many other people skate by with no problems. That part is not explained. That part is never explained. They never bother to explain it. If everybody was getting hit, then I'm just like, oh, okay, that's the rules. Everybody's not getting hit. It's just, it's really who they select whenever they want to select it. One person will make one video, another person can make the same exact type of video, and they'll only choose one to actually mess with. Okay, that's fair. So from here on out, this is a new cohort, right? I am now in the 300,000s. I have plans to go much further, have another channel, all this good stuff, right? So I'm declaring from right now, August 16th when I'm recording this, I'm never going to deal with another copyright claim from this network. I'm never going to deal with another copyright claim from this channel because I'm simply not going to make videos the same anymore. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. See, I'm in a situation where I can't initiate a partnership with another network because if I were to leave this network, then I have no protection from them blocking my videos worldwide. Right now I do. That's like that's the benefit that I have from staying with them, if any of you were wondering, is that my videos don't get blocked worldwide. I've seen it happen to people that are not actually with that network, the videos will be blocked worldwide. Well, being with them, I have a way to ensure that that does not happen at least, and that's the most important thing. So as long as they keep me, I'm not gonna go anywhere else because that would simply, that wouldn't turn out good for me. I have nothing to gain from that. And by the way, you have nothing, if you're wondering, maybe I'll talk about this in a little bit. There's nothing to gain from really even being with any MCN. I've kind of learned that over the years. Being partnered with these MCNs, I could have very well have just been a YouTube partner and just been paid from them. And it would have just worked just as well, right? Because all these people, they seem to be the same. They come to you and they tell you all these great things they can do for your channel. You partner with them and then nothing happens. That's literally every MCN I have now dealt with. It's all been the same thing. They promise they can do all these good things and literally none of it comes true. So I could have just been just as fine just working with YouTube back then, back when it was easier to partner with YouTube. Of course, there's a lot more requirements now in review. But yeah, that's one benefit I do get from being with this MCN is that I have a way to not be blocked worldwide. So with that, I'm never just going to leave just out of retaliation because there's no reason to. That being said, if they were to let me go, I have another network I could partner with just like that. The one on my second channel is partnered to, I go straight to them, so it wouldn't even be a problem really. Wouldn't be convenient, but in the long run that would not be a problem. But anyways, back to my original thought. Yeah, I'm not dealing with copyright claims anymore. The NBA footage, I'm going to find a way to make videos without it. Anything that they can claim, I am simply not going to be using anymore because they just won't explain it. They won't explain what is different from one channel to the other. They won't explain it. They would just say, oh, we can't control what the NBA does. Yeah, you can't control who you claim. It literally says manually. Like, I don't know. That is a show that I have been dealing with way too long. I have seen how other YouTubers evade using footage but still make very successful and entertaining videos, and I am going to do the same because from 300k to wherever I get to, 500k to a million, this is one issue I'm not going to be dealing with anymore. I'm not going to be dealing with working on something for hours just to have somebody not explain why they do what they do and just take it from me. Absolutely not going to do it anymore. I feel like at this point I've done my part in trying to have an open dialogue with them and tell them what my actual issue is. And to get the same response for like a year, I feel is actually disrespectful. So I figured this way it's clean, you know what? Nobody has to get angry, we can keep the same partnership, whatever, but I won't be doing any more work that they can just outright claim. That's not gonna happen anymore. I'm in 300k, channel's getting bigger, fan base is growing, and I'm never gonna be dealing with this again, ever. Never gonna deal with it again. I figured the worst thing that could possibly happen would be they drop me from the network, they block my videos worldwide. I figured that would be like the very worst thing. I don't know if they are those type of people. I would not accuse them of being those type of people because that's extremely shady. That's extremely low. And hey, again, if that were to happen, then I'm going all out. I have people always ask me about NBA YouTube and all this stuff. So if something drastic like that happens, which I'm not anticipating, I'm just saying if it did, I'm going all out then. At that point, I got to start using actual names of people. I gotta start putting actual information out there so people know, hey, you don't want to deal with this network. But again, that's why I don't anticipate that, because if they were to do that, again, I'm one of their biggest clients. I am one of their biggest partners. So you do that to one of your biggest partners and everybody else that comes after this doesn't want to deal with you anymore. That would just be terrible business. So I don't anticipate that. But I do get a certain email all the time. I get an email from plenty of people or DMs, and they're always saying, hey, I want to join NBA YouTube. I want to do this. Can you give me some tips? Can you give me some pointers? No, I can't, because I don't even understand it myself. As long as I've been doing this, I don't understand it myself. I don't understand the methods. I don't understand how to evade certain things. I don't understand who they mess with or why. I don't know. So my advice to you, if you want to join NBA YouTube, is don't. Don't join NBA YouTube. Don't come here expecting to use footage and that it's going to be alright, because maybe it will, but maybe it won't. I don't know. If I had to come back and start this all over again, if I were to start over if I were to go back to 2016 and know what I know now, I would probably have an NBA/NBA 2K channel where I don't need footage at all. So it's just pretty much like how my second channel is mostly 2K gameplay. Yeah, the thing I found out is that the core people who support me and who follow me around, they really just want to hear me talk. They want to hear my thoughts on basketball. So I wouldn't have even bothered using all these years on NBA footage. I would really just have 2K gameplay, different game modes, and incorporate the NBA into that, whether it's evergreen topics or whether it's past topics. Honestly, if you want to join NBA YouTube, I think that's your best bet, because I can't promise you anything about footage. I don't have the answers. So anyways, I'm pretty much done with the network talk portion of this. I had always had some general thoughts about YouTube, because I know like so many of you want to try it. So many of you want to try your hand at whatever type of channels whatever you're looking to start. Now that I'm at 300K and I've been doing this long enough, a bit of advice I would have is just that, because people always DM me asking for advice and all that. A bit of advice I would probably have is to remember that YouTube is an individual sport. What necessarily works for one channel is not going to work for another. Watch other people in entertainment, but I would say, maybe I would even say, don't watch people with the sole goal of being inspired for your own content. Because at the end of the day, the thing that I found works best is that you have to find the best balance between what you enjoy doing and what your audience likes to support. You have to find the best balance of that if you're trying to be successful. Now, there's certain YouTubers I know of that just say, hey, fuck it, I'm gonna put whatever I want to on my channel. Whoever likes it, whoever doesn't, doesn't. Hey, that's an approach. You can take that. That's not the approach that I take. So that segues perfectly into what I am talking about with it being a solo sport. Here's the thing. Series like the Case for GOAT or the Greatest of All Time playoff series, those were me being inspired by other YouTubers who have like productions on their channels. So they have productions that take them maybe like a month to make, right? And so when I'm making Case for GOAT, that was back then when that's when I was ending college and I wasn't really in the best state either when I was trying to make all that stuff. So had a lot going on. Anyways, yeah, I watch somebody, I get inspired, and I'm like, I love productions like this. I'm gonna make straight up productions. Here's the thing. Looking back at it, I didn't even enjoy the process of actually making those videos. I didn't enjoy the process. What I enjoyed was the end result. That to me is a huge fucking no-no on YouTube. If you don't enjoy the process of editing something, this becomes very difficult because so much of it is a process. The whole editing, the whole growing thing, all of that is a process. All of that takes time. And so if you don't enjoy that part and you only enjoy the end results, I think that is a formula for eventual burnout. And so I look back at those videos, Case for GOAT and all that stuff, and there's a couple of things there. First of all, again, super arduous process. It's ridiculous trying to make those videos. They take a ridiculous amount of time, ridiculous amount of planning. That's one thing. Number two, a majority of the people that support my channel, the thing that I found, and this is supported by numbers, this is supported by analytics, this is supported by who followed me to my second channel and the type of support I got there. A majority of the people that support me just want to hear me talk basketball. That's really what they care about the most. When I was making those videos and I was taking 2 weeks at a time to make like one video, I had somebody hit me in my DMs and he was like, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. We don't really care about all the editing. We just care, we just want some good content from you, man. We just want some content from you. I found it kind of shitty. I really hated that feedback, but it was feedback nonetheless, because it was literally saying, hey, quantity over quality. And not so much even that. They were basically saying quantity and quality, not just quality. And so I hated that comment because I was like, wow, man, people out here with short attention spans, they don't appreciate the actual editing that goes into these videos. But the analytics backed up what he said. The watch time, the amount of views, literally every analytic that you can go by says that my audience, I'm not talking about for other people, I'm just talking about me specifically. I'm using this to show you an example. My audience, that guy was right. They just want to hear me talk basketball. That's what they like. That's what I found. In every metric, that's what I found. So that kind of brings me to the third thing. The engagement speaks to you. When you're running a channel, the engagement speaks. What your audience engages with the most, that's just what they like the most. So when I'm at my best on this platform, I'm finding a balance between the things that I like to do combined with the things that my audience likes. And it's different for everybody. There are other channels out there that might just be straight up productions, straight up high quality videos that come out once every 3 weeks, and their audience engages with it a fuck ton. That might be them, right? But you as a YouTuber, if you're gonna be a YouTuber, don't go around looking at other people and what their audience engages with. because what their audience engages with is probably not going to be what your audience engages with. Unless you're just straight up in a clickbait game, right? If you're gonna go the route of I'm just gonna make super popular videos with super clickbaity titles and clickbaity thumbnails, well, that's a whole different thing, right? That's a different sector of YouTube. That clickbaiting is a thing. But if you're like genuinely a person with like fans and support and all that, you gotta know what it is your audience is looking for from you. And so on the subject of my case for GOAT videos, my case for GOAT, the LeBron case for GOAT, that is the best batch of videos I've ever made on my channel, ever. It's the best written, the pace is the best, the editing is the best. Those are the best videos, those are the best productions I ever made. But the engagement on those videos does not compare to when I'm just talking hoops with my audience. So when I'm just talking hoops and it's something that they can debate me about or they can debate amongst themselves, it doesn't even come close. And so I look back at it and it's like, well, I could spend 2 weeks making one video and I can be really stressed about it because the process is ridiculous. So I gotta be super stressed about all this editing and all this production. Meanwhile, I have another channel that needs my attention, so it's not even really possible anymore. Then I can post that video, and the truth is people don't really appreciate the editing that goes behind videos like that. They don't. And so for me, it would not be a great strategy to go around doing something that I don't really like doing that much. I don't enjoy the process of that much, and that my audience, it's like a select portion of the audience that really enjoys it, that really loves it, but the majority of them don't. And again, this is something that I've been paying attention to over the span of 3 years, and it never fails. It never fails when I'm finding something that I like and that I know my audience is going to like, versus just making something that I just like, right? Because I've done that too. So there's my piece of advice for you. If you're starting out or if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, look, when you're first starting that channel, it's a great time to just explore everything, right? Before you have any subscribers, before you really have any viewers, that's your time to find what you like. That's the time to find what you enjoy the most, so you can have a bunch of different buttons that you can actually press. Because that's the situation that I've had with my channel over the years, is that there's things that I just love but my audience doesn't. There's things that I like a lot to do that my audience loves. It goes all across the spectrum, so you give yourself a certain amount of options. And that's what I did by starting this channel when I made certain types of videos. When I made Case for GOAT, when I made Do You Know Basketball, the top 10 list, the straight up just commentary videos. They used to be called My Commentary. That's what became Barbershop Talk on the other channel. Yeah, I gave myself a bunch of different options and I just tried a bunch of different things. I even used to do 2K earlier on the channel. I gave myself a ton of different options so that I could have, so I could find out what works best. So I could find that balance. And so when you're very young and you only have a certain amount of subs, hey man, try whatever it is that your heart desires, because that's the part that gets more difficult as you grow. As you grow, not only is your audience probably not going to support wild endeavors of you just posting random shit, YouTube doesn't even support that. So let's take a variety channel like Chris Move, right? The reason that Chris Move gets away with being a variety channel, and I don't say gets away like a bad thing, like his channel is awesome, but it's because his channel started that way. So if you go back to his oldest videos, Chris Move was posting like Madden, he was posting Batman, he was posting all types of random games, but it was mostly with a focus on NBA and 2K, right? But you knew he did other things. And so because his audience grew with him like that, where he was always posting a variety of things, that's what his audience is used to. So now he has 4 million subs, and if he posts tomorrow if he starts playing Call of Duty tomorrow, Call of Duty for him is going to do just as good as his NBA stuff because his audience knows him for that. As far in as I am right now, if I were to post Call of Duty on Dom2K tomorrow, that shit would make the channel tank. I promise you it would make the channel tank. YouTube does not support you being adventurous once you get big and once they have you in the algorithm. Yeah, you start adventuring with stuff that make your numbers tank, next thing you know the channel's dead. Like that's just the way it is, man. I hate it. I hate it because YouTube really should be about expressing yourself and just doing whatever the hell you want. But the thing is, you find channels that, maybe they've switched along the way to just do whatever they want. They don't get as much support because YouTube just doesn't support that. And that's why I recommend you having more than one channel. So I recommend 2 channels and I don't recommend any more than that at all. That brings into the conversation of how I ended up with 3 channels, and I very much dislike the situation, but it's the way it happened for me, right? So I was in college when I started Dom2K. Along the way, I wanted a gaming channel. Okay, that's where Dom comes in. That's where my second channel comes in. It was supposed to be my gaming channel, but because I was in college, I only had time for 2K. That's the only content I had time to make while I was going to have 2 channels. So that literally grew into a 2K/current basketball channel, because on Dom2K, it's mostly evergreen videos that you can watch at any point in time. Dom, however, with the barbershop talks and then 2K, it's literally just like I can cover the entire season on that channel because I'm not going to do that on Dom2K. My second second channel audience enjoys that more. And then I could really on that channel do whatever I want to involving basketball. I have more leeway on that channel because again, I started it posting a lot of different things, a lot of different types of 2K content, a lot of different basketball discussions, so I have more leeway with what I can do there. However, that channel now has 100,000 subs and now has a dedicated audience. So this summer when I'm sitting around and I have this big gaming setup, I'm like, man, I really enjoy gaming. That's a passion of mine. I got this close to making my second channel a mostly gaming channel. I posted that one Watch Dogs video and I took it down a couple hours later because I felt I was making a mistake. I truly did. I did all this work to make Dom a formidable channel, get it to 100K, and that audience likes to hear me talk basketball, current basketball really. That's where I talk about like the actual season that's going on. They like to see different types of 2K videos, and that's the majority of that audience. A very select few from that audience will like to see me like let's play video games and stuff like that. Very select few. So I was at a crossroads. I was like, I can start uploading gameplay videos here, but you know what the problem was? I specifically want to make let's plays. I don't really want to get into like, you guys follow Clean Prince Gaming and those type of channels. I don't necessarily want to make like actual long form game videos and like gaming information. I just like the let's plays. Problem with a let's play channel is that for let's plays to work, you pretty much need to be posting episodes all the time. And so if I was going to do that on my second channel, let's plays were going to overtake the channel. So all that work I did to basically get it to 100K, all that work I did to build an audience, and I'm just gonna destroy it for let's plays, because the next thing you know, I have like these basketball videos and I have like 10 or 20 straight let's play videos. I didn't have the heart to do that to myself, man. I didn't have the heart to do that to myself. I knew that was gonna make the channel tank because I knew a majority of the people did not want to see let's plays. Some people did, don't get me wrong, some people did, but a majority did not. So I was not going to erase progress that I made there. That's why I have a third channel straight for let's plays. That way it doesn't disrupt anything. That way people don't come to my second channel looking for barbershop talks or the next 2K video, but they're greeted with like 5 Grand Theft Auto videos or a bunch of Watch Dog videos, right? That'll piss people off. I wasn't gonna do that, so that's why I said when you're starting a channel, be very precise about what it is you want, at least in the idea of the channel. So if you're gonna start a channel and you say, okay, maybe sometime I want to do let's plays, maybe sometimes I want to do this, start off that way and start experimenting with it so that your audience grows with you. Because when you just try to spring change on your audience, that is one of the worst things I think you can do, unless you're big enough, right? If you're one of these YouTubers with like millions of subs or whatever, you can get, a lot of people can get away with that. They're just like basically famous. They can get away with that. Majority of us can't. A majority of us need to grow with our audience. A majority of us need to start off trying different things if we know that's what we want to do, right? If we know that we want to start off and like, hey, I'm gonna get on YouTube and I want to do a variety of things, you should start that way for your best chance to succeed. I'm not saying you can't succeed the other way, but for your best chance, you might want to start off that way. That being said, I'm not saying if you get big, you need to create a channel for every different thing you want to do, right? Like, you don't want to be out here with 6 channels. 3 channels is the max for me. That's the most channels I'm ever going to have. Dom2K plays, Dom and Dom2K. That's it for me. I'm not making anything else. I'm not about to start cooking and none of that shit, right? Everything else I do in life is just a hobby for me and it's not for the internet. As far as running 3 channels, it's not. Here's the thing, right? Again, Dom2K and Dom, those take a certain amount of time. Let's plays don't really take that much time. Let's plays are literally, if you have the setup for it, you play the game, you commentate, you edit when it needs to be edited. It does take time, but it doesn't take really thought is what I'm trying to say. That being said, you might notice that I haven't posted GTA in a while. No, I am not done with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I am going to finish the playthrough. Really what ended up happening is my brothers were on summer vacation. They had to go back to school. I forgot where I heard it, but they said like balance in life is not really a thing. I mentioned it in the last podcast. It's very hard to achieve like actual balance. Really, I was trying to enjoy time with them before they went back, trying to enjoy a little bit of summer. So with that, they were over my place a lot. They were here like all the time and I couldn't really let's play with them here. So I wasn't let's playing as much. I'm almost done with the game now. My goal with GTA San Andreas is to finish the game and then to upload the rest of the playthrough and edit it. Because what was becoming overwhelming was trying to let's play the game, editing those videos, but then also having to edit for the other 2 channels. That's what became difficult. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish San Andreas, which right now I probably have like 10, 12 missions left. I'm going to finish it, I'm going to edit it, then I'm just going to post the rest of those videos. And the other thing with that is my let's play channel, again, that's just kind of like something I really like to do. Like it's not part of my job here. It's just something that I enjoy doing. So for me, it's kind of like a when I get to it thing. It's not as important as getting out NBA videos. It is not at the top of my priority, but I will say that doing that playthrough was a lesson, because I thought Let's Plays were a little less work than they actually are. And if it was the only thing I was doing, that'd be awesome, to be honest with you. Like, if my Let's Play channel ever gets like really big and gets to where I can like stop doing other things, I think I would love that. Like, that would be awesome. Let's Plays are awesome, but again, that channel is very young. That channel is very small. I don't really have any like goals with that to try to have it overtake another one of my channels. It's kind of like a if it happens thing, cool. If it doesn't, I just enjoy doing them. So I'm gonna get the rest of the San Andreas Let's Play out. For my final topic here, because I'm going to address top 10 lists later, I'm going to see how that video I just posted ages. Demarcus Cousins, if you did not know, he tore his ACL. That is a huge bummer. That's a little bit of NBA news that we got coming up on the midway point of August. That's a huge bummer, actually. He's had the most unfortunate like 2 or 3 year stretch of anybody. Gets traded to the Pelicans, plays with AD, gets a full season with him, tears his Achilles, so we already know nobody ever comes back the same from Achilles injuries. I believe he had an offer on the table from the Pelicans. We don't know for sure, but there's always that thing floating around out there that they did offer him money even with the Achilles. Chose to go to Golden State and rehab and ring chase. Tore his quad, did not get the ring. It looked like a free ring, but it wasn't. And now he tears his ACL during the summer. That is a, you know, it looked like he had lost weight too. It looked like he had lost weight and was maybe trying to prevent stress on his legs, prevent stress on his knees. And yeah, that's a whole nother year he's basically gonna miss. He hasn't played much basketball at all since 2017 now, right? Or was it early 2018 when he got hurt? Yeah, he's not played much basketball at all. After watching Derrick Rose still play basketball and still, you know, after everything he went through this decade and become what he was able to become last year, he was pretty decent. I'm not ever gonna just count anybody out of the NBA, but damn, DeMarcus Cousins, the future is looking bleak right now. Also, a gut punch for the Lakers. I know some people thought that DeMarcus Cousins was not going to be great for LA. I was under the impression that a big man that could shoot, playing with LeBron James, I thought that was going to be a great thing. Obviously, his defense was not going to be all that great, but I think having him at center was going to be better than having like JaVale McGee. Just from the way that you can place the guys on the floor, I thought that was going to be a good thing, if anything, floor spacing. And also, with him maybe being healthy, I thought he would be able to provide some minutes when LeBron and AD aren't really doing everything. I thought he could provide some good minutes. That is definitely a gut punch right there. Not a great, already not a great start to the season for LA, because the rest of the team is really not that deep after you get like from LeBron and AD. Rest of the team is not all that great. That's what's going to make next season so interesting and so competitive. I do definitely wonder what happens in his career now, just because he signed a 1-year deal with the Lakers. That was 1 year, so he's not going to play at all this season. Next summer, he's going to be looking for somebody to give him money with a torn Achilles, a torn quad, and a torn ACL, all within the span of a couple of years. I can't see anybody signing him for any major role. It was the same reason that I thought Derrick Rose's career was over after he tore his meniscus with the Knicks, because I was wondering what team was going to give him a shot to actually, what contending team would give him a shot. Because when you're at that point, when you're damaged goods, normally I think you're looking for a team that's contending, like DeMarcus Cousins had done with the Warriors and like he did with the Lakers. But if a team is contending and they sign you, that means they need you to provide some type of minutes. They sign a player like you who might have something left in the tank still. They think you can provide some minutes. So the Cavaliers took a gamble on Derrick Rose when I thought nobody would, and then it didn't end up working out. He only played a couple games before he was out with the ankle. Luckily, people have shown D-Rose love. He continues to be picked up, and he's been able to prove himself that he can still play some basketball. So maybe the same thing will happen with DeMarcus Cousins. I'm not gonna say I think his career is over, because I thought Rose's was, and it's not. And Rose went through everything. We think what DeMarcus Cousins is going through right now is terrible. And Rose, he got injured like every year, right? He had a serious injury every single year. So that being said, Cousins are worse though. The ACL with the Achilles, whew, those are like 2 of the worst injuries you could possibly have. It is definitely difficult to imagine he's in a great state right now. And it's difficult to imagine that anyone's going to trust him with like real minutes. But again, who knows? Like I said, the Timberwolves were not really contending and they signed Derrick Rose. Could easily be a team that's not really going to contend to try to pick him up. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Prayers up for DeMarcus Cousins. Never want to see anybody's hoop dreams just being taken away from them the way it is being taken away from him right now. So yeah, that is my basketball segment. I pretty much think I'm done with the podcast. Thank you all so much for 300k. That is an awesome feat, no matter what has gone on behind the scenes with the network and all this copyright stuff. At the end of the day, you know, they say that insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. And now that I've done the same thing with this network for a couple of years now, and just knowing that, hey, for part of the year they might not mess with you with copyright, then part of it they might. Look, I'm making a change, man. I am going to make a change. I look at every 100k as kind of like a new start, you know? That's just how I look at it. Maybe I'm weird as fuck, but I'm at 300k now. This is a time for me to continue to grow. Channel is in a good place. I'm not going to change my content drastically or anything, but the way I go about making the content, again, the people who support me, it's showing that they just wanted, you know, they want me to talk hoops. They want me to talk basketball. I enjoy talking basketball, so that's what I am going to do. And I'm going to do it in a way that is not going to get caught up in the copyright system, because that is essentially never going to be explained to me. But it's not gonna stop me. That is not going to stop me. 300k on one channel, 100k on the other. I enjoy making content for both. I will tend to the Let's Play channel when I can, so be on the lookout for that. And now I'm looking at my journey to 500k, honestly. I'm looking right past 400k. No, yeah, seriously, it's always a blessing to get another 100k subs, because you never know when any of this is gonna stop. Seriously, you have no clue when YouTube gets into an apocalypse. You don't know anything with this internet stuff. It's always a risk. So to be growing 3 years after I started, to still consistently be growing, consistently hitting new highs, is very awesome. It is very awesome to have the support, to have a fan base that I can actually interact with, that I choose to interact with. I don't know how people go about having like these big followings and don't interact with any of their subs. I don't get that. Couldn't be me. And yeah, I will be doing a giveaway on Instagram. So I'm pretty sure this podcast is going to come out before my next video on my main channel. So I will be doing a giveaway on Instagram. My new goal in life is to be an IG thought, so I want some IG followers. Make sure to follow me on there. You probably have a heads up on it if you're listening to this podcast, because that video where I announced that is probably going to be like Sunday, Monday. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, thanks for coming through to the pod. Make sure to hit the like button, comment, and sub if you enjoyed. The links to the podcast on iTunes and Spotify should be in the comment section and the description below. Listen to it while you're going on a walk, while you're in the gym, whatever. And hit the bell next to the channel name if you want notifications when this podcast drops every Saturday. Thanks for listening, and I will see you all next week.